Welcome back to our mini-series on media disinformation. In our previous video, we talked about the types of media lies and how the media changes our perception of reality. Today, we're picking up on why the media spreads disinformation and why sometimes we want them to. Let's be clear, most journalists aren't cackling in smoky rooms plotting disinformation campaigns. They're underpaid, overworked, and trying to keep their jobs. But media institutions? They are playing a game, and the rules of that game are rigged for distortion. So if the media isn't always lying outright, why does it still leave us misinformed, divided, and exhausted? It comes down to 5 powerful forces: profit, access journalism, audience targeting, bias, and narrative control. The first force that we're going to break down is profit. This is the big one. Media is a business, and businesses need profit. In the digital age, attention is the most valuable currency, and nothing captures attention like outrage. The math is brutal. Calm, balanced reporting, you scroll past it. But a headline screaming, "The thing that's destroying your country!" You click, you rage share, you stay. And every second you spend seething is another ad served. Another data point harvested, another dollar earned. So outlets adapt. More conflict, more drama, more breaking news graphics, even if it's about something that broke 3 days ago. Ever notice how many news segments now resemble reality TV? That's not a glitch. That's a strategy. Outrage is engagement, is profit. And accuracy? Accuracy can wait until after the commercial break. The next force is access journalism. You want a scoop from the White House? An exclusive with a tech billionaire? A behind the scenes on a Marvel movie set? Great, now here's the price. Play nice. Access journalism is the velvet leash of the media world. To get the juicy stories, you need relationships. But relationships come with strings. Push too hard, ask uncomfortable questions, publish a damning story, and suddenly, you're off the invite list, the phone stops ringing, and your competitors get the exclusives instead. So what happens? Tough questions become softballs, scandals get watered down, and investigative journalism becomes repackaged PR. And we, the audience, get the illusion of scrutiny when what we're really watching is choreographed compliance. Next up is audience targeting. Once upon a time, news was aimed at everyone. Now it's carved up into micro-demographics like a political Spotify algorithm. Fox News doesn't care if MSNBC fans tune in. The Daily Wire doesn't want to appeal to NPR listeners. And even the New York Times has a tone, a tribe, and a target market. Why? Because audience loyalty is revenue stability. People love having their beliefs validated. It feels good. It builds trust. It makes you come back for more. So instead of challenging viewers, the media gives them more of what they already think. And soon, we're all living in ideological bubbles, each with our own curated reality. Our own facts, our own villains, our own version of the truth. At that point, it's not journalism. It's confirmation as a service. The fourth force that we're going to talk about is bias. Even the most ethical newsroom is made of humans. And humans, we come with software pre-installed. Bias isn't always malicious. Sometimes it's invisible. But it shapes everything. Think about it. What stories get told? A famine in Africa might get buried under celebrity gossip. And what language is used? Protesters versus rioters. Whistleblowers versus leakers. What assumptions go unchallenged? Economic growth is good, military action is justified, and wealth is success. These aren't lies. They're defaults, habits, cultural blind spots passed down through editorial norms. Even when journalists think they're being objective, they're often just reflecting the dominant perspective of their environment. And when every newsroom looks demographically identical, guess what kind of stories dominate? The fifth and final force that the media uses that helps explain why they are spreading disinformation is narrative control. Now we enter into the murkier waters, where governments, corporations, and interest groups shape what you see without you realizing it. It starts simple. A press release gets picked up and reprinted without question. A government agency leaks a story to steer public opinion. Or a major advertiser threatens to pull funding unless coverage softens. And it gets more strategic during crises. Wars come with pre-approved talking points. Police departments flood reporters with one-sided footage. And tech companies offer exclusive access in exchange for friendly coverage. It's not always shadowy backroom deals. Sometimes it's just subtle influence, strategic pressure. The kind that you don't even notice until it's already worked. Because when a billionaire owns your newsroom, or a senator controls your access, or a pharmaceutical giant buys up half your ad slots, you learn quickly what not to say. Most media isn't evil. It's just responding to incentives. And when the incentive is speed over depth, sensation over substance, access over accountability, bias over balance, or control over chaos, then of course what we get is distorted. The scary part? It's not a conspiracy. It's a system, one that feeds on outrage, loyalty, and fear, and leaves the truth in the dust. Now here's the fun part. Why we want to be lied to. This is the chapter that makes everyone a little uncomfortable. Because it flips the lens. We spent all this time pointing at them, but what if the problem is also us? I mean, sure, media warps reality. Algorithms fuel rage. But at the end of the day, they're responding to what works. And what works is what we click. So let's get brutally honest. Imagine reading something that might be true, but it punches a hole in your worldview. Maybe your favorite politician isn't as clean as you thought. Maybe your side did get something wrong. Or maybe the issue isn't black and white and your quick opinion was premature. That squirmy discomfort you feel? That's called cognitive dissonance. It's the brain's version of an allergic reaction. And rather than sit with it, most of us do mental gymnastics to make it go away. We dismiss the source. We rationalize the inconsistency, and we double down on our belief. So when the media offers us a version of the world that confirms what we already believe, we don't just accept it, we crave it. This isn't just a bug in the system. The confirmation bias loop is a deeply human feature. We actively seek out stories that validate our beliefs and avoid the ones that challenge them. It feels good being told, you're right, they're wrong, here's the proof. That little dopamine hit, that's confirmation bias doing its thing. And in a world where every headline, tweet, or TikTok can be curated to your existing views, you end up in a closed loop, an echo chamber, not just online, but in your brain. Now throw algorithms into the mix. Your feed isn't neutral. It's a machine learning mirror trained on what you engage with. If you click on content that makes you mad, you'll get more of it. If you watch one conspiracy video, you'll see 5 more by lunch. Because algorithms don't prioritize truth. They prioritize engagement, emotion, and velocity. In practice, that means that anger spreads faster than facts. Rage bait outperforms research. And extremes get amplified. And before you know it, you're not just being lied to. You're being seduced by a hypercharged version of the world engineered for maximum emotional payoff. It's not information. It's dopamine theater. Real journalism is hard. It takes time, it requires context, and it often ends with things like, we don't know yet. It's more complicated than that. Or, there's no clear answer. But we hate that. We want clarity, closure, certainty. So instead of this line, housing costs are rising due to a complex mix of interest rates, zoning laws, and global supply chain issues, we get something more like, Blame immigrants, or liberals, or billionaires. Pick your villain. This is narrative fantasy, not information, and we eat it up like popcorn at a Marvel movie. Villains and heroes, good guys and bad guys. Our team is the truth, their team is lies. It's not just easier to digest, it's easier to market, because the line, "it's complicated," doesn't go viral. Here's the hardest pill to swallow. The media distorts because we reward it. We reward rage. We reward tribalism. We reward stories that tell us what we already believe. We say we want truth, nuance, and depth, but we click on outrage, oversimplification, and spectacle. So the system gives us what we prove we want, not what we say we want. So the media isn't just lying to us, we're lying to ourselves. It's easy to blame institutions, but the truth is more haunting. We are the market. We are the demand. And the media is simply the supply chain delivering our emotional fix. If we want better media, we have to become better audiences. And that means sitting with discomfort, seeking out opposing views, and valuing complexity over certainty. Hard? Yes. Fun? No. Necessary? Absolutely. Because the only way to fight disinformation at scale is to stop being so damn addicted to the lies that feel so good. Let me know what you think in the comments about media disinformation. And tune in next week where we talk about what we can do about it.